Week 6 of the fantasy baseball season, and here's a few pitchers I would look to trade for this week. The first guy, Dylan Cease of the Chicago White Sox. So Dylan Cease, so far this season, it's been a tough one for him. And last season, he came off a great year with Cease with a 14-8 record with a 2.20 ERA. But so far this year, 40 and a third, 2-2 record, 49 strikeouts, which it's good to see the strikeouts still pretty up there. 5.58 ERA, a 1.51 WHIP, and 2 quality starts. But over the last couple weeks here, 14 innings, 0-2 record, 15 Ks, a 10.93 ERA, and a 2.14 WHIP. So Dylan Cease last season, I thought he pitched a little bit over his head, and it was a better season than he should have had. But now this season, he's been batting practice for the most part, is Dylan Cease, but he still has the high K rate, which is always good to see. He's in a division where there's not good hitting teams, obviously in the AL Central. The Guardians, Kansas City Royals in that division, the Minnesota Twins not really hitters, so I think he could get through this struggle right now in Cease. And right now, since he's began to hit hard over the last few ball games, he's a guy to go out there and get, and you don't have to break the bank for him. And his next outing's May 13th versus the Houston Astros, even though their hitting hasn't been up to par so far this year. April 27th versus the Rays, 4 innings, got the loss, 9 hits, 6 runs, 2 walks, 3 Ks. May 3rd versus the Twins, 5 innings in that one, no decision, 5 hits, 4 runs, 4 walks, 6 Ks. And May 8th at the Royals, 5 innings, got the loss, 9 hits, 7 runs, a walk, 6 Ks. So Dylan Cease, he hasn't logged a quality start in the last 5 outings here, which obviously isn't a good thing for fantasy owners. He had 2 pretty decent matchups versus Minnesota and Kansas City and couldn't take advantage of it. But I think he's too talented of a pitcher, and once he gets the walks down a little bit as well and locates better, Dylan Cease, I think, could get back to form. I'm not going to say he's going to have an ERA under 2.5 the rest of the way, but he's definitely a pitcher that's better than he's been this season. And I think he turns things around. And right now, while he's on the downslide, it's a perfect time to buy him low this week. The next guy's Max Scherzer of the New York Mets. And Max Scherzer, he's up there in age, obviously. And over the last couple seasons, injuries have really caught up to Scherzer now in the late part of his career now, in the late 30s, early 40s. On the season, 22 and 2/3, 2-2 record, 20 strikeouts, a 5.56 ERA, 1.41 WHIP, and a quality start on the season. But Max Scherzer, we know he was suspended for 10 games after, obviously, the incident with the pine tar, whatever the case may be. Something illegal he was using, and they tossed him out of that game. So Scherzer, he hasn't pitched much this season. Now it's a stiff neck and also a scapular issue we had early in the year. And we'll see if he pitches. Scherzer said it should be day-to-day and he should be back sooner than later. But right now, it doesn't look like he's going to be pitching this weekend. Maybe Monday or Tuesday, we could see Scherzer coming back. So the last few games here for Scherzer, April 10th versus the Padres. 5 innings, got the win. A hit, no runs, 3 walks, 6 Ks. In that one. April 19th at the Dodgers, the game he got thrown out for supposedly cheating. 3 innings in that one, a hit, no runs, 2 walks, 3 Ks. And then May 3rd versus one of his former team at the Tigers, which was a great matchup on paper. He just struggled mightily. 3 1/3, got the loss, 8 hits, 6 runs, a walk, 3 Ks. So the thing with Scherzer is he's a pitcher that he likes going out there every 5th day and getting the job done. But right now, I think his body's giving out on him a little bit. I still think he could contribute to fantasy owners in this New York Met team. And if he could just get healthy and work it out, as Max Scherzer, I'm not saying he's going to go back to ace-type form, but he definitely could be a pitcher that can help you. 3rd or 4th guy in your rotation for fantasy owners. So right now, while he's barely pitched over the last month of the season, and the few games he has pitched, he hasn't done much. This is a perfect time to go out there and get Scherzer, because once Max figures it out and gets things back on track, I think he's a pitcher that definitely can help fantasy owners. Not at a crazy elite level, but definitely a solid piece to your roster. Next guy's Martin Perez of the Texas Rangers. So Martin Perez had a great year last season in a breakout season with the Texas Rangers. And so far this season, 37 1/3, 4-1 record, only 28 strikeouts, a 3.86 ERA, a 1.55 WHIP, and 2 quality starts. So he's not going that deep into games. The ERA's ballooned up, especially over the last couple weeks. 9 2/3, 1-0 record, 4 Ks, a 7.45 ERA, 1.86 WHIP with a quality start in that time. So this Texas Ranger team playing good baseball so far in the early going, in first place in the AL West. So right now, Martin Perez, we know he's got good stuff. We know he's the top of the pitching rotation over there for this Ranger team. And more nights than not, he's going to get run support. So the last few games here for Perez, April 25th at the Reds, 6 in the third in that one, no decision. 6 hits, no runs, a walk, 5 Ks, a quality start. April 30th versus the Yankees, 6 innings, got the win. 6 hits, a run, a walk, 2 Ks in that one, a quality start. And then May 7th, the Angels, he got bombed in that ball game. 3 2/3, no decision, luckily though. 8 hits, 7 runs, 3 walks, 2 Ks in that game. So his next outing's tomorrow, May 12th, at the Oakland Athletics. And we know the A's most likely the worst team the major leagues here at hitting the baseball. So I think Perez could get back on track. But after getting off a ball game where he got rocked at the Angels, this is a perfect time to go get him, is Perez, in my opinion. I know the numbers are still solid on the season, but fantasy owners are a little bit down on Martin Perez. He's 63% owned in fantasy leagues, and he's actually been dropped in 4% of leagues. So right now, while the value's been down and coming off a bad ball game, this is a time to get Perez, because if he gets things right, which most likely he should at the A's here, then his value goes up a little bit. Next pitch is Patrick Sandoval of the Los Angeles Angels. So Sandoval, he's a decent 6th, 7th starter in your rotation for fantasy owners, I believe. But obviously, not many people think he's that valuable, but he's definitely a pitcher that could be solid for owners. And I think you could trade a closer or back end of the bench hitter on your team for him. On the season, 37 innings, 3-1 record, 26 Ks, 3.41 ERA, 1.24 whip, and 2 quality starts. So I know Sandoval, he's not a strikeout pitcher, but he's definitely an innings eater for the most part of Sandoval, and a guy who can keep that ERA down. And we saw it last season, a 2.91 ERA. I know this Angel team's a weird team over the last few seasons where they just don't make the playoffs with all this talent. But anyway, Patrick Sandoval, he's been pitching solid this season, and he's under-owned as well, I believe, owned in 75% of fantasy leagues. So not many people might think he's valuable, but I think he definitely brings value to owners and is a good back end of the rotation pitcher for fantasy. April 26th versus the A's, 7 innings, got the win. 6 hits, 2 runs, 5 Ks, a quality start. May 2nd at the Cardinals, 5 innings in that one, got the win. 3 hits, a run, 3 walks, 4 Ks. And May 8th versus the Astros, 6 1/3, no decision. 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 Ks. So like I said, he's not going to get strikeouts, but he's getting some innings as Sandoval. He keeps that ERA down for the most part, and I think he's a solid pitcher. And his next outing's May 14th at the Guardians. So right now, owners should go out there and get him when not many owners have Sandoval on their radar. And the 5th and final pitcher I look to buy and trade for this week here is Alek Manoah of the Toronto Blue Jays. I don't know if it's a pitch clock thing or whatever the case may be, but it's definitely a down year for Manoah. After last season, he was one of the better pitchers in fantasy baseball, and this year definitely taking a step back in the early going. 41 innings, 1-3 record, 32 Ks, 4.83 ERA, a 1.66 whip, and 2 quality starts. So right now, Manoah, he's not pitching good baseball, but he's obviously got a great offense backing him over there for this Toronto Blue Jay team, but he's not going deep into games. And teams, they're hitting him well so far in the year we're going, is Manoah. But I think if he just makes a few adjustments, and if it is the pitch clock, he's a guy that could turn things around and help fantasy owners in a big way in the next few weeks and towards the end of the season. April 28th versus Seattle, 5 innings only in that one. 6 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, 7 Ks. May 3rd at the Red Sox, 5 innings, got the loss. 8 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 3 Ks. And May 9th at Philly, 4 2/3, got the loss in that one. 4 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, a K. So right now, the strikeouts are down a little bit for Manoah. The walk rate is definitely up, which has been a problem for him, obviously, with 9 walks in his last 3 outings. But his next outing, hopefully he goes out there and turn things around. But right now, while he's not doing anything of notoriety for fantasy owners, it's a perfect time to go out there, Manoah, and maybe a decent hitter on your roster it would only take to get him in a deal. So that's a few pitchers I look to buy and trade for in Week 6 of the fantasy baseball season.